Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be covering some of the stuff that's going on inside of Bakhmut. Since August, the area in the blue line that I'm drawing right now is largely the responsibility of the Wagner mercenary group instead of the main professional Russian army. A lot of the people in the Wagner mercenary group are mercenaries, trained soldiers, but a lot of them are conscripts or criminals who were taken out of prison because this was preferable to being inside of a jail cell. It was mostly Wagner who did the main assault into Soledar as well as the middle half of Bakhmut. Middle third of Bakhmut. However, the gradual decline of Wagner forces in the area happened over time. It started up north with the conventional Russian army replacing them in the North Rozdolivka area by Berestove. Then in the south, along the Donetsk Canal, the Wagners pulled out of there and had the regular Russian military replace them there. Then recently, the regular Russian military took over the flanks of the Bakhmut area, which left the Wagner troops just inside of the city. These correlated very well with the losses of the Wagner mercenary group, as well as the decreased Russian assaults in the direction of Vuhledar and Avdiivka. And right now, Russia has sent in some of their most elite airborne divisions inside of Bakhmut. This likely indicates that the Wagner mercenary group has been completely obliterated and wiped out. It's unlikely that they're completely done. There's still Wagner forces fighting inside of Bakhmut, but they've gone from controlling about an 80-kilometer, ranging between 60 and 80 based on how the front moved, to about 3 in the past 2 months. Right now in the north of Bakhmut, this is where the bloodiest fights are. Bakhmut is mainly split into 3 parts, with the eastern side over here, the central side being in the light blue area, and the part that splits the western third of Bakhmut is this green dotted train line. Ukraine's main plan was never to stay inside of central Bakhmut for long. They were mainly going to use it to rack up casualties, as well as establish their defense line along the rail line, because that was an area where it was most important. They're still holding defense on the train station inside of central Bakhmut, and in a couple areas still in the center. But north is where the main battles are taking place. Russia gathered some of their most elite troops and tried to just sweep into the north to try to break through completely. They made decent progress, taking over about 4 or 5 blocks, but then they've gotten stopped recently by one of Ukraine's best grouping of troops that they have in their entire army. There's been a limited counterattack that have pushed them back, and counterattacks are still taking place, but Russia does have the momentum up here. Russia currently does have the momentum in this region, but if counterattacks are able to take place, they'll lose it, and it will likely be back to grinding through the cities. They've started to ramp up assaults in the south as well, trying to break through that area. But right now, Ukraine has really achieved their main goal of destroying the Wagner mercenary group inside of this area. The fact that they've been reduced to this small of an area shows how big the effect that the Battle of Bachman has had on them. The red areas of this front line were the areas controlled by the professional Russian military, and the blue is by the Wagner mercenary group. This is really useful for Russia because they were able to basically ignore about a ninth of the front with their main army, and not even a ninth, probably one of the most important parts of their front from their main army. But now Russia is going to lose their manpower advantage in a lot of areas now that they have to cover this spot as well. And I think overall we can say that the Battle of Bakhmut has been a failure for Russia, even if they do capture the city. The amount of time and casualties that it took Russia to take Bakhmut, which is coming up on 9 months almost, was way too much for what it should have been on paper. It's exhausted a large part of their equipment and has overall led to stalling on pretty much everywhere else on the front. Since Russia started the Bakhmut campaign in August, they've captured under 30 settlements. Meanwhile, Ukraine has been preparing for a massive counteroffensive somewhere either in the north or the south, and we're just gonna have to wait to see that play out. Alright, see you guys later and have a good day. Sorry, I would have uploaded a video yesterday, but I was doing my taxes because I made a lot of money off of being a male prostitute.